Hello students, welcome to the economics class. In my last class, I had explained what is an economy, and in this connection, I told you that what is need, want and demand. I told you that these three terms are very important terms of economy, and they are interchangeably used by us or even by the economists. Though these three terms are interchangeably used and interrelated terms, then again, as a student of economics, we have to understand what is the difference between these three terms, need, want and demand. So I had explained that one. After that, I told you what are the branches of what are the branches of economy, the microeconomics and macroeconomics, first thing, and then I told you the positive economics and normative economics. I told you what are the characteristics of need, what are the characteristics of resources, what is need, what is resources, what is demand. A want which is backed by ability to pay and willingness to pay is called demand. In today's lecture, we will see all about economics. In last class, we have seen economy, and now today we will see economics. It is the continuation of the first chapter, introduction. Economics. Now, see students, this word economics is defined by several authors in several times. Different authors have defined this term economics in different ways. For definition, we have to learn over here. Before going into details, I would like students, you just take a screenshot of the writings on the board. Hope student, you have done so. Now we are coming. After this, you will all whatever I have written on the board, you will write it down in your fair copy. It will work as a note, and just before the exam you go through this note. That will solve the purpose. Now, economics. This is Adam Smith. Adam Smith, who is known as the father of economics. In 1776, he has given this definition, which is known as the wealth definition. And according to the wealth definition, economics is the science of wealth. Economics is a science of wealth. In 1890, Alfred Marshall, another world famous economist, Alfred Marshall, he gave the second definition of economics, which is known as the welfare definition. And it goes like this: economics is a study of mankind in the ordinary business of life, in our daily life, how a man behaves, how he goes to the market, how he purchases the goods and services, what prices he has paid, all these things. That means it is the human activity. It is the study of mankind only in our ordinary business of life. Business, here you should understand the basic meaning of business, purchasing and selling of the commodity. You can say that it is a business with a view to earn profit, of course. The third one is, it is known as the scarcity definition, most widely used definition of scarcity. In your exam, if it comes that define economics, you better use this very definition given by Lionel Robbins in the year 1932. Lionel Robbins definition, this is known as the scarcity definition, and it is the widely used definition, most accepted definition. And examiners also just want to see this very definition. What it is? Economics is a science which studies human behavior as a relationship between ends and means which have alternative uses. What is economics? Economics is a science. What sort of science? Definitely it is not like physical science, it is a social science. Economics is the science which studies the human behavior. What is its subject matter? The behavior of human being as a relationship between ends and means. Now here two words are coming. One is ends, and the second one is means. You have to understand the meaning of these two. Ends means needs of human being, and means resources. So you can think it like this. Now you will understand the thing, which studies the human behavior as relationship between needs and resources which have alternative uses. In my last class I told you in the characteristics of resources are limited in nature and resources have got alternative uses. So that thing I have written over here, relationship between ends means needs, and means means resources. So needs and resources which have alternative use. Which have alternative use means resources are alternative in nature. This is given by Leonel Robbins. The fourth definition is given, which is it is known as the modern definition of economics. It is given by Samuelson. It is also a very good definition. You can write it also. It will be equally important, but mostly used definition is that of Leonel's, and this is the economics as a social science which studies the way a society chooses to use its limited resources. The society, the economy has got limited resources. With that limited resources, the society has choose what to produce, what goods and services it will produce in order for the present and future consumption. Economics is a social science which studies the way a society chooses to use its limited resources which have alternative uses to produce goods and services for present and future consumption. For today's consumption and for future consumption, how our society will use its limited resources. Each and every economy has got limited resources. Now, it has to use this limited resources on the production of goods and services. So, what is economics? Economics is a social science. What it will decide? The way of society choose to use its limited resources which have alternative use. That resources is not only limited, but it has got some alternative uses to produce goods and services. In order to produce the goods and services, the economy is using its limited resources which are having alternative uses for alternative uses to produce goods and services for present and future consumption. So the economy is having limited resources and the economy is using its limited resources to produce goods and services so that it can meet the current consumption demand of the economy as well as future consumption demand of the economy. Therefore, dear students, the Samuelson said that economics is a social science which studies the way how a society is choosing and using its limited resources which have got alternative uses in order to produce the goods and services to meet the present consumption as well as the future consumption. This is known as the modern definition of economics. And after this, Ragnar Fisk has given a types of economics according to Ragnar Fisk. It is the classification of economics made by Ragnar Fisk. And according to him, economics can be subdivided. The subject matter of economics can be subdivided into two parts. One is microeconomics, the other one is macroeconomics. When economic problems are learned from individualistic point of view. Now, what is the meaning of individualistic point of view? You see, dear students, from the point of view of a person, from the point of view of a family, from a point of view of a businessman, from the point of view of a farm, from the point of view of an industry, that is known as the microeconomics. Micro means small. And when, for example, example of microeconomics, I work somewhere and I get 25,000 rupees in a month. This 25,000 rupees is my income, and this is microeconomics because it is concerned with my income, my spending, or Mr. A's expenditure, Mr. A's demand, sailor B's supply. That means we are talking about a person. We are studying the behavior of a person in the economy, not totality. So microeconomics deals with individual problems, and macro, as the name suggests, macro means big. Macro deals with the aggregated problem. If I say the national income of our country is such and such, then we are not talking about an individual income of mine or yours or his. In totality, on adding all these income, we are arriving to a big concept that is known as the macroeconomics concept. I say that price rise or inflation or say unemployment is a serious problem of our economy. Yes, we know. This problem is not a microeconomics. This is a problem of macroeconomics. So micro means small, macro means big. Micro, in word micro, there is a word I. I stands for individual. And in macro, we are having the word A. A means aggregate. So I means individual, individual means small, and A means aggregate, aggregate means totality. According to Ragnar Frisk, we will see how he has distinguished between microeconomics and macroeconomics in this chart. Origin of the words microeconomics. It has come from the Greek word mikros, mikros. Mikros means small. And macroeconomics, it has come from the Greek word macros, makros. Makros, macros, it is a Greek word, it means large. So microeconomics is a small economics, macroeconomics is a large economics. Microeconomics studies the problem of individuals, macroeconomics studies the problem of the society as a whole. If I say national income, it is a macroeconomics. If I say inflation, it is a macroeconomics. If I say aggregate my demand, microeconomics, and aggregate demand of the nation, that is known as the macroeconomics. Second meaning, that part of economics which studies the behavior of individual. I have already explained that part of the economic which studies the behavior of individual, that is known as the microeconomics, and that part of the economics which studies behavior of aggregates, behavior of the society, behavior of the nation, that is known as the macroeconomics. So this is the small, this is the big, this has derived from the word micros, this is from the macros. It is studies the individual problems, it studies the aggregated problems or problems in totality. Meaning, I have explained. Now tools used. In order, we will see as we move second chapter, third chapter, fourth chapter through the microeconomics, we will find that the tools that are used in understanding this microeconomics is demand and supply. Demand and supply are two tools in order to understand the microeconomic problems. On the other hand, the two tools which are used to understand macroeconomics is aggregate demand and aggregate supply. This in when we will study in macroeconomics and standard 12, we will come across these two terms, aggregate demand and aggregate supply. In standard 11, you are only focused on this you have to focus on microeconomics. Tools used, demand and supply, and aggregate demand and aggregate supply. Alternatively, microeconomics is known as the price theory, and macroeconomics is known as the theory of income and employment. And the last one is example, individual income, my income. Individual demand, what I demand in the market. So these are the subject matter of microeconomics. And examples of macroeconomics, national income. National income is not my income, but my income is also included in it. And aggregate demand. Demand means my demand. This is my demand. And demand of a commodity in the nation, national level, in aggregated level, that is known as the aggregate demand. Now, this is all about your distinction. It is a very important question for you, for your exam. What are the distinguish between microeconomics and macroeconomics? Hope, dear students, you have understood what is the basic difference between micro and macro. Now, we will see one more classification, and that is positive economics. One is normative economics. And a question often asked comes in the exam, distinguish between normative economics and positive economics. Now, positive economics means what is, what was, what will be. It deals with what is, what was, etc. Okay. We will take an example. Unemployment is increasing in India. This is a statement I have given. Unemployment, last point. I am focusing on last point, then we will discuss this. Example, unemployment is increasing in India. Okay, fact. Do you know that unemployment is increasing in India? Yes, we know. How? We are finding it. We find it, we see it. That students are taking their degrees but they are not getting their jobs. So unemployment is there. Huge amount of unemployments are there. In the morning hour, you will see that laborers are going in search of the job. In different points, they are assembling in the morning hour, say at 8 or 9 o'clock in the morning. But after 1 or 2 hours, go and see what happens. Some of them gets the job and they go for work, and some of them are returning. So those who are not getting the job, they remain unemployed for that very day. So unemployment is a regular phenomenon of our society, and this is day by day it is increasing. Unemployment is increasing in India. Now, come to this here. So unemployment is increasing in India is a positive statement. It is positive economics. Because it is based on certain facts, we can see it. Yes, we are finding. The statistics supports it. On the other hand, government should take proper measures to solve the problem of unemployment in our country. The government should means an opinion. You are giving an opinion. Someone is giving an opinion. The government should take proper measure to solve of unemployment problem in our country. So in any statement, if this should, ought to be, these words are used, then you should take it to be as normative economics. It is opinion based, it is not facts based. Is this a statement facts based? Government should take. No, it is not facts based. You are giving your opinion, you are giving your suggestion. So when it is a fact, factual economics is known as the positive economics, and opinion-based economics is known as the normative economics. Subject deals with what is, what was, etc. Normative deals with what ought to be, what ought to have been, क्या होना चाहिए था. When we are talking about should or ought, then we are talking about normative. And when we give the facts only, the statement which gives mere fact, there is no scope of giving any suggestion, that is known as a positive economics. Verification. Under this, things can be verified. Things can be verified. I told one thing, and you can verify whether it is true or false. I told that unemployment problem this year in a particular school, ABC, the number of students who have taken admission in 11 is very high. Whether it is true or false, you can verify. So this is an example of positive economics. So positive economics, under it the things can be verified. But here, under things cannot be verified. If I say government should take proper action to reduce the problem of unemployment or poverty, can you verify this thing? No, you cannot, because it is opinion based. How can you verify it? You have given, or someone has given the opinion. But in this case, you can. In this case. So under it, things can be verified. Under it, things cannot be verified. Object. What is the very object? It studies actual situation. What is happening in the economy? It studies it. It studies actual situation and it studies ideal situation. Idealistic. क्या है और क्या होना चाहिए? Ideal. It is idealistic situation it deals with. It deals with the actual situation. Nature. Nature of positive economics based on facts in life. Yes, facts of life. It is based on facts of life, and this is based on individual views. Government should do this. Government should not do this. All these things. It is based on individual views. Value judgment. It deals with it does not pass value judgment whether it is good or bad. It does not. It states the fact. It simply states the fact, but whether it is good, bad, or what it is, it does not give any value judgment. Positive economics never gives any value judgment. But here it passes value judgment. ऐसा नहीं करना चाहिए था. Value. We are talking about value. It is not good. We are talking about value. So the positive economics does not pass any value judgment, whereas the normative economics passes the value judgment. And the last one is the example that I started with. Unemployment is increasing in India. Fact-based. We are finding it. Statistics says so. Newspaper says so. TV media says so. We have sufficient information that people are not getting the job according to their qualification. After becoming graduates and so, they are not getting their jobs. So unemployment day by day is increasing in our country. And what is normative part? The government should take proper action. You are giving your opinion. You are giving your value judgment. Government should take proper measures to solve the problem of unemployment in our country. So in today's class we have seen what is economics. What are the 4 different definitions of economics? Starting from Adam Smith, Alfred Marshall, Lionel Robbins, and the last one is the Samuelson's. Samuelson's definition is the modern definition, Lionel's scarcity definition, Marshall's welfare definition, and Adam Smith, father of economics, his definition is known as the wealth definition. Often you will write down the welfare definition given by Alfred Marshall. Write down scarcity definition given by Lionel Robbins. So all these 4 definitions you have to get by heart. But in exam, what is economics? If it comes, you don't write all the 4. Better you write either point number 3, that is Lionel Robbins' definition, or by Samuelson's definition. Then, after defining the economics, we have seen the branches of economics according to Ragnar Frisch, and then what is positive economics and what is normative economics I had explained. Hope, dear students, you have understood all the things that I have explained on the board. Do one thing and make a fair copy and just put it down on that fair copy. It will work as a note for you for the future reference. Today we are completing the today's lecture. In my next class we will start with basic economic problem. Already I have told you something, that our needs are unlimited, our resources are limited, And what we do, we try to satisfy our unlimited needs with our limited resources. Of course, this inequality, this mismatch between needs and resources will create a problem, and that problem will be the problem of choice, that is the basic economic problem. In our next class, we will deal with the basic economic problem. Till then, students, goodbye.